Yeah, that's a great coffee. So yeah, let's get started. So most of the builders and engineers and scientists whom I meet, and they want to build their own product, they tell me that we'll build such a great product that everyone will want to use it. But this is just a small problem. Life slash market doesn't work that way. So in this video, we are going to go through some of the hard life lessons that I've learned over a period of time about how to build a product or service which people will actually use. This should apply to anyone who is probably trying to run a business, start a product, or build a product internally for an existing business. So let's start. Alrighty, so most tech founders or builders whom you will meet, they expect if they build something great, and again, greatness is defined as per their own definition. Customers will pay for it. They focus on technical metrics, latency, throughput, great UX, and try to optimize them and without any conversation with a prospective customer or a person who might actually pay for their product. They reckon a business is all about building an outstanding product. They believe you should only talk to your prospective customers once you have a product. Okay. And finally, they have zero to little belief in marketing and sales as vehicles of running a business. But there is a small problem. All of this is quite wrong. Okay. I reckon this is one of those big ditches in which every technical founder or builder essentially falls. Building a product, I would say, previously I used to believe it's probably 99% of the business, and over time it has got calibrated to around 60% of the business. And now, when I have actually been able to develop products and put them in the market, I now understand that probably building a product in most scenarios is probably 40% of the business. Rest 60% actually is not about the product, but it's about how you or your market or your product or everything is perceived by your end users. That's about it. Now, let's look at some of the tips how I reckon, as per my own learning, any founder should start off before even writing a single line of code or even thinking about architecture or UI or UX. Alrighty, so what we'll learn now is how to identify needs in the world for which you will actually get paid. Okay, how to validate if what you are building will actually fill up the need that you have identified. We'll understand some basics of marketing. We all don't need to be great marketers when you're starting off as founders or product builders, but you need to understand marketing channels. You need to understand where do your customers are and what are they thinking. And finally, we'll do a quick small mock project essentially of suppose we were actually thinking of building a product, how you might actually go about researching it and identify whether there is a need for that product in the market. Cool. Alrighty. So it sounds simple, but how do you actually identify needs in the world for which you will get paid? Okay. So it's a journey which you have to go through at least once, and then it will become a muscle memory for us. So the way I normally go about now, again, I used to do it totally differently. Or each of the pointers that we discussed in the last slide was me essentially, and that's what I have completely now tried to avoid. And this is how I now go about building a product. First step is you have to first spend lots of time to identifying who is your customer. Okay. And you probably need to always come back to this thing that who is your customer? Who are you trying to serve? The number of one point when you're deciding who is your customer is, and remember, this is a mistake that everyone makes, is everyone cannot be your customer. Your product or service cannot be for everyone. You need a focus, right? Your customer could be, let's say, for example, people between 40 to 60-year old who are trying to book a vacation for their family. Okay. There might be a small inclination in you, and you say, okay, we are building a vacation rental business. Why don't we expand it to everyone from 18 to, let's say, 65? No, the needs of someone who is in their mid 20s to someone who is between above 40 are totally different. So you have to like be really narrow and really focused, at least when you're starting off. Identify who is your customer. Okay, who is your customer? It will, and there are different things in there like customer personas and stuff that you can literally use those tools in there. But the best thing to do is take a notepad, take a pen, and just write an essay about your customer. What that customer does, how does that customer spend their time, why do you reckon there might be a burning need in them, or the problem that you're trying to solve. Okay. Second question that's probably you need to ask yourself is, once you have defined the customers is, where do these customers hang out? What I mean by hangout is, remember, you have to meet the customers where they already are. Maybe you are just catering to teens, right? And most of the teens now spend lots of time on the social media, which is not Facebook. It might be something else, a Snapchat or something. So that is where your most of your marketing and distribution effort might be. If you're catering to people who are elderly, you might have to find a way to interacting with them in their social groups or in their elderly homes and so on and so forth. So where do they hang out? Again, this can be part of your whole customer essay that you might write. Third, what are their pain points? Now, what are the pain points? You will start off by literally having hypothesis that, okay, my customer, whoever it might be, has these 5 pain points, right? And then you will basically go about validating it. And how do you validate it? Multiple ways of doing it. You might do a primary research like Google, asking people on social media, recruiting people as research subjects, going and meeting people whom you know who might actually fit that profile, and just validating those pain points and identifying what are the actual pain points that you are trying to solve for. Now, next question that you need to ask yourself as well as you need to figure out is, are these pain points urgent? For example, right now I probably need a Sony FX3, but is it urgent? No, it's not. Am I ready to shell out like whatever $2,000, $3,000 that it needs? I might, but I might not. But suppose it was like, without that camera, I couldn't shoot this YouTube video, it would become an urgent problem for me, right? So that's what you need to identify. How urgent are those pain points? Because you don't want to build a product which is on the fringes, it's good to have. You want something that people need and will pay for. Again, you might have a customer segment and you identify that probably it's not an urgent need what you're building for them, but there might be a narrow segment where it might be an urgent need. Like for example, a YouTuber who is probably trying to build great videos which look really great and are not tutorial videos like mine will probably need a Sony FX3. So that's your customer segment and not me. Okay, hope that's clear. Now finally, how are they currently solving it? Like for in my case, if someone was selling me a Sony FX3, how am I currently solving recording videos? I'm using my own MacBook camera. So that's the way I'm solving it and it works for me. Okay. So that's the competition, at least against me. So therefore there will be multiple layers of competition. So to know more about what the competition is in the space where you're entering, you have to identify how are the current customers solving the existing problems. Finally, after you go through all of this journey, and remember, this is not going to be a really fast journey, you always have to come back to it, even when you're building a product. But you at least have to go through 3 iterations of who is my customer, where do they hang out, what are their pain points, are these pain points urgent, and how are they currently solving it before you even write a single line of code. Okay. Remember that. And once you do that, essentially, you probably will have lots of research, lots of pointers around stuff. You have to think, why might they choose you? Okay. Why might they choose something that's built by Shub and team? Am I an expert in this space? Have I previously built something which has helped solve the customer's other problems? Or do I have any particular edge in terms of the technology that might literally change stuff? So you have to build your own value proposition, that why might people choose you? Okay, why might people choose you? And this in itself would be your biggest marketing message when you target those customers. So yeah, very simple, 6 boxes here. Always when you're building a product, please keep them in mind, and we'll discuss some more detail as we move forward. Alrighty. Now, while you're building, how do you continuously keep on validating that what you're building is actually making sense? Okay. So, okay, you had a chat with customers, consumers have told you some stuff, and you finally decided upon, okay, a way forward for a product or service that might get paid for by the customer. Now, while you're building, you also need to continuously keep on validating your idea. Now, how to do that? Test out your idea, right? Multiple ways to test. You don't actually need to still write a single line of code. You can write extended blogs. You can write good social media articles and see the kind of traction and engagement you're getting with your consumers. You can try cold reach outs, like literally, other than the customers whom or prospective customers whom you spoke to, just try cold reach out to prospecting people who do reckon will actually pay for your products and services, and see what this talk about it. Give them like normal feature that you are planning to build, and what do they think of it. Finally, one of the best way to do or understand more about what a customer might need is build a free tool. Okay, build a free tool which is probably 5% or 10% of the product that you're planning to build, and put it out there for free. See if people actually use it, see if people actually ask for more. Okay, and that actually might be an indication of there being value that you can provide, and which for which customers will pay. All right, building a wait list based on all of these things is a great way to actually already having a validated customer base on which you will build a product. Roll out the product features one feature at a time. Like while you're building products and it might have 20 features, build every single feature and send it out to the customers to try it out, put the beta list. And so the idea is be iterative even when you're developing a product. You don't need to completely build the product and then go to the market. Build it iteratively, see customers feedback. There might be times when a feature might not even land with customers. You just need to pull it out. Less code is great code. Okay, you can maintain it better, you can quickly be agile on it and do lots of stuff. And finally, yeah, once you have built the complete products, start giving demos, give it out to free from some prospective good accounts, and see how it goes. And one thing to understand is don't fall in love with your product while you're building it. This is a mistake that I have made in the past. Lots of people will make it. If while you're building it and you don't see if half of a product when you built it not being useful enough for people, then probably your product is not a business. It's a good hobby, it's a good way to keep yourself engaged, but probably people won't pay for it. It's a stark truth, and it hurts really bad, but it's good to know this before you're building it. Then after you're built and the reality really hits you to the ground. Alrighty, let's have a quick discussion about the marketing channels that I mean everyone has access to. Internet or digitization of the world has been a great equalizer as per me. Like everyone now had access to marketing channels, which probably the big organizations have. The only thing to understand is you need to use them smartly. Okay, you probably need to experiment a lot and be agile and try lots of stuff, and something will actually crack. Okay, now I normally split the marketing channels in terms of free and paid. Um, the and the thing to always understand when you're marketing is it's a game of percentage. Okay, like you will have a marketing message. Okay, it might be whatever you reckon essentially uh, drops a penny into your customer's head. It might be like, for example, for iPhone it will be like 100 songs in your pocket. Okay, if someone listens to it, oh wow, 100 songs in my pocket, I will go and check in not an iPhone, but an iPod. So yeah, the idea is you need to put your marketing message in front of users. Now there are different ways you can do that. um, First is you need to identify your audience, and then after that you can start tapping these marketing channels. In terms of free, you can tap your existing network, like the people who fit your customer profile, whether it might be someone whom you know or someone whom someone in your network can refer to, and just have a chat to them and show them your marketing message, show them your product, get feedback, and build on top of it. Search engine optimization, again, still with the advent of AI and stuff, people are saying it's going away, but I don't reckon so. Google is a multi-billion-dollar business, and they're trying their best to still keep SEO relevant. Social networks, everyone hangs out on social networks. There are really great social network groups. If you go and tap in, whether it might be Facebook group, LinkedIn groups, you can really find great small networks you can send your message to. Direct reach outs, extremely undertapped, but extremely good channel if you are able to do it properly. Don't be a spammer, be someone who contextually reaches out to people, and you will see replies coming through. Okay, conferences and meetups, great way to meet prospective users, prospective partners. You will find lots of great way and great connections you can make when you're doing that. Partnerships, if you do reckon your customers when you're doing that, overall creating that customer mind map or customer profile, you identify that your customers use a certain kind of products or certain kind of services. It might be a good idea to explore partnerships in that space. Like probably someone can refer your product to their existing customers just to make them happy, or give them discounts, or give them overall affiliate commissions on top of it. Directories, there are still lots of internet directories where they keep a list of lots of software products, internet products, which might be useful for users. Lots of them are free, some are paid. Please tap them. And then in terms of paid marketing, again, as I mentioned, the difference between free and paid is free sometimes takes a bit of time to get your word out, right? Means essentially it might take a bit of time to get your website or your blog to get trusted by Google or go and build partnerships. But for paid, essentially you pay per click or pay per impressions, and you're just in front of your prospective consumers, right? Every major social network, whether it might be LinkedIn or a Facebook or Instagram or Twitter slash X, is majorly an advertising platform, right? If you pay for it, you can get in front of your consumers. Try them out, but I suggest probably first try all your free channels, build your marketing message, and then try the paid ones. So you can pay in terms of pay per click or pay per impressions. Most of what you observe on SEO and Google is pay per click, where you click every time someone basically searches for something, sees your link and clicks on it. And then there are ones where, and as number of times as someone sees your ad, you will have to pay for it. That is called pay per impressions. Most of the social networks like Facebook and Instagram do that. Banner ads are basically where you just buy a banner, whether it might be uh, on a particular website or it might be a physical banner you might buy somewhere outside where you reckon lots of your customers drive by. Again, it probably falls in paper. I will not say it's paper impression, but literally it's like, okay, $100 for a month and you will have that banner in there. Affiliates are again tapping into that partnership space where anyone who sells or pushes your product gets a commission out of it. And newsletters, there are lots of newsletters that people are right now subscribing to. It has become a good business where lots of people have share lots of content with their prospective users. Find if there are any newsletters that your user base basically subscribes to, and try and find a way to get into those newsletters. Again, good way to find your distribution. Alrighty, now let's do a quick mock project on and try to understand how the whole way to go about it might work. I will particularly try to show you how I normally think about when I'm trying to build a product, and yeah, hopefully that journey helps you. So let's say the problem that I am thinking of right now again might be, um, can we sell a customized sugar-free ice cream? Okay, so the idea that I'm trying to explore is, there are ice creams everywhere, but there are also lots of folks who are not that happy with the ice cream that they eat. Okay, either they have some problems or they want a different kind of customization. So, can I sell that? First thing is, uh, even before can I build something like that, is if I try to sell something similar, do I reckon there will be a market for that? That's the question that I'm trying to answer. Okay. So what's let's before that, what let's do one thing. First of all, we'll make a list of what are the things that I probably think. Again, this is a hypothesis, right? This is thesis that you're building even before going into the market. Okay, who is my customer? Okay. Um, First of all, they love ice cream. Okay. Uh, and see how I'm kind of choosing my adjectives really well. They don't like, they love ice cream, because if they love ice cream, they will actually pay for something which is probably a better version of the ice cream that they're eating right now. Okay. Uh, Second, why can't they have the existing ice cream variants that exist in the market? They have dietary dietary restrictions. Okay, maybe they are health conscious, are vegan. Yeah, most of the ice cream is basically made from milk, animal milk, and vegans can't have that. So what I have observed is there are either ice creams or there are then sorbet and all of those stuff essentially. Um, Other than that, is there anything else that basically hits me? I'm trying to think of it, and before even going in, again, remember this is my first take on how who might be my ideal customer, and then it will basically build on top of that. So yeah, so they love ice cream, they have dietary restrictions, they are probably health conscious and probably are vegan, right? And it could be a combination of any of those. My customers might be love ice cream and are vegan. They could be they love ice cream and have dietary restriction. They are love ice cream and are health conscious, or either or of any of these combination, but probably they all love ice cream. good. Okay, makes sense. Alrighty. So now what I will do is, first of all, I want to check the overall trend in the world, right? Like if there are people who love uh, customized ice creams, they probably search for it, okay, in the world. So there are two vehicles to understand that. Alrighty. So one of the best tools to learn what are people of the entire world are searching for right now is Google Trends. It basically is a uh, collection of all the search terms that are being Googled by everyone around the world, and you can literally spot some good trends around it. So I will enter a keyword to see how it's trending. It's trends.google.com, by the way, when you guys you also try it. Let's say search for vegan ice cream. Mm, in Australia, not many people are searching in the past day. Let's do it in past 12 months. Okay. Okay. Not many people are searching it. Ice cream, food, veganism, cream, dairy products. So in terms of overall trends, I don't see much. What about instead of Australia where I am, I search for worldwide. Okay. We see some data like in UK, we see that probably people are looking for that. Mm, okay. So and what about if I search for customized um, ice cream? Okay. So customized ice cream still gets probably a better hit uh, worldwide. And are there any related queries that I'm getting? No, but customized ice cream is probably anyways a wider term, so you're getting something. Now, this doesn't give much data point, but depending upon some of your other product that you might try to build and more seasonal trends that you can spot, you can actually find some decent trends in here. Okay. Now, another tool that I would probably want to show everyone is called Google Keyword Planner. Okay. Great tool, free to use. And you can literally spot some of the questions that people are asking, right? Um, like, for example, here in Australia, again, I will probably try for the same thing. Uh, buy customized ice cream. Okay, so you see the average monthly searches are just 0 to 10. So in Australia, probably at max 10 people are searching for customized ice cream. What about if I just move it and I do a move to United States? Okay, again, not many people are searching for. Okay, so if I try to build a customized ice cream shop, I actually don't have many people Googling it. Okay, maybe what I try is instead of building a customized ice cream, I go all in on buy vegan ice cream. Okay, so there are quite a decent chunk if just comparing Australia and United States as a market. 10 to 100 people are kind of looking for. Mm, and if you see one other thing that you want to check probably here is so there are close to 100 searches. Literally there is no one actually targeting that, so it might have a low volume, but if there is no competition in there, which as of now it looks like there is very very low, because if you see the bids that are being made on these words for the Google ads are very low. So it might be a good idea to tap into it, like although there might be 100 people across Australia and United States, but you might be able to tap into it as the uh, if competition might be a bit lower. But again, the idea might be that not many people actually look for it, and it might be not a channel to distribute your ice cream. Okay, because you never sell your most often not you will not sell your ice cream direct to consumer. You will either have a store or sell it to a supermarket. So that might be one of the reasons why people are not putting out ad in there. But yeah, these are the two ways that I normally go about figuring out if there is any latent demand that I can look for. This was just one of the examples, the way go about it. Like for example, I can probably again search here for buy uh, low calorie frozen dessert. Okay, no one is looking for. Okay, buy low calorie ice cream, buy um, low CO calorie ice cream. So again, 10 to 100 people, literally no change. So again, it might be. So again, so right now, based on what I have looked at it here, if I'm trying to sell customized low calorie ice creams, there is not much big customer searches that are happening through at least digital searches that are happening. Uh, so that might have like two different hypotheses. One, there is actually not much of a demand. It's good to have, otherwise people might not have an ice cream. Okay. Second thing is it might another way you might actually think of it is maybe it's not a digital channel, right? So you might have to actually go and do lots of other stuff, speak to people who own ice cream stores, speak to supermarket owners that do you actually get demand for these? If I build a product, will you buy that? Again, so this is one of the ways that I showed you a digital channel, but you can also separate it to physical channels and kind of try to find more about the customers. But what I will do is I will pause this video here because I just wanted to show you guys these two channels, and I want you guys to go on and play with it. Whenever whatever ideas you have, I will leave the links in the description. And yeah, that's it. And see you next time.